Oh, this one is really having a go. We seem to have got quality rudd arrived. Carp, gee. Hi, well, the car's back on the road, which in itself is a bit of a saga, which I might explain later if there's a bit of a quiet period. So I'm back out fishing, which is good news. Bit boring, I'm back at Field's End, in the same spot I fished last time a couple of weeks ago. I didn't know where to go today. There's a forecast of rain later and a freshening southwesterly wind. I was thinking about going back to Erith. I really like Erith, but the part of the lake that's sort of accessible at the moment because of the high water is pretty exposed to a southwesterly. So I've come back to Field's End in the same corner as before, which is in the southwest corner of the lake. So I'm hoping it's going to be a bit, well, it should be quite sheltered here. I'm not really set up yet, I've just arrived. The most amazing thing is I got here at 8 o'clock and that's when it opens. But I expected a few people around the lake from the caravans. They usually sort of grab some spots. But there's absolutely nobody on the lake. First one here, which is, oh, I can't remember. Well, I don't think that's ever happened before. So it's pretty quiet at the moment. Anyway, I won't natter anymore. I'll get myself finished setting up and get back to you once I'm fishing. Right, we're off, as they say. Now, today I'm starting with luncheon meat because on previous occasions I've started with my trusty bread but found luncheon meat to be the better bait here. But having said that, I've ground baited with mashed or crumbed bread, a mixture of white and seedy bread, and I will try bread during the day because it does work. But we'll start with luncheon meat. I pre-cut it today at home, and it's in quite small cubes because we were catching some nice rudd here last time, and I've still got a 10 hook on, which is quite big obviously for rudd, but I misled you a bit in the introduction. I said there was no one else here, but as I was tackling up there was a splash over there and someone cast in, so there is someone nestling in the bushes over there. Oops, something's having a play already. Oops. Oh, be careful, if I strike too hard I'll go in that tree up there. Right, so something is down there. I think something's taken out on the way down. The float took a long time to cock there, or something's played with it on the way down, even if they didn't take it. I'm sure these are the rudd again. I don't mind catching the rudd though, if they're anything like the ones last time. They're really nice fish. But last time, if you watched, a few carp came along just to liven things up a bit. And I managed one crucian. I really would like to catch a few more crucians, but whereas I used to catch them quite regularly here, in the past few years I haven't been doing so. There's some nice barbel in here as well. I know it's freshwater. I know it's still water barbel and not everybody's cup of tea, but they do fight, and it certainly makes a nice change. But it's been a couple of years or so since I've caught one. If I'm on luncheon meat, there is a chance, although to increase the chances I should have brought a bit of hemp along and mixed it in with the ground bait, because that seems to attract the barbel. Yeah, it's very peaceful here at the moment. They're forecasting rain for around 2 or 3 o'clock, so I got here at opening time, 8 o'clock, and I usually these days stay for 4 or 5 hours, so I'm probably going to pack up before the rain arrives. I can't get over how quiet it is. I mean, so I've been over here in the summer before, and it's been absolutely packed. I can only assume that a combination of some atrocious weather this year, and perhaps just the cost of doing things, people aren't holidaying here as much. So, yeah. Oh, come on, Robert. Sit there looking at it when it goes under. That's not going to get anything, is it? Well, not doing very well, are we? Yeah, I think we got a lot of small rudd down there, because I've put a bit of fluffy bread on. It took a while to sink, and as it's sinking, look at this. They're just messing about with it, aren't they? Until something a bit bigger turns up, I'm not sure we're going to hook any of them, unless I go down to very light tackle. Look at that running across the surface. Hopeless. Oh well. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Look at that. Look at that float. Look at it lifting right up. Ah, we got him that time. Stuck on the lift. Doesn't feel very big. But at least we've hooked something. I don't know, quite reasonable. Is that a roach? It is a roach, isn't it? It's not a rudd. Yeah, it'd be a roach. Gotta watch the trees here. Oh, I don't know though. There's a lot of red on those fins. Oh well. Well, at least we've caught a fish. Yeah, that's more ruddy, isn't it? It's got that upturned bottom lip. Yeah. See that single sort of bulrush stem there, all isolated on its own. Something just bashed that quite hard. I wouldn't be surprised there were a few carp moseying around in these margins. Anyway, we'll carry on as we are. And if a carp comes along, so be it. I said I'd mention the car saga. I'll probably get a bite if I start talking about the car saga, which is a good way of getting a bite once you start talking about something else. Anyway, to cut what was a really convoluted story as short as possible, first of all my battery failed and I got the recovery people out who fitted a new one, and they started the car, obviously showing it was working okay, and but I didn't use it then for just over 2 days, 2.5 days, and I went back to the car then and it was as dead as a dodo again. So I got the recovery out again, and he reckoned there was something draining the battery, and he did a diagnostic and he come up with some obscure thing about the instrument panel refreshing too often, and he said it needed a software update. Well, that didn't make a lot of sense because I've had the car 8 years and it's never had this software update, and it never used to do this on the old battery. Anyway, having got to that point, I booked it in the main dealers. I had to wait a week to get it in, and I just kept it on a trickle charge. Booked it in the main dealers. They had it 3 days, and they did battery drain tests, alternator tests, and God knows what else, and couldn't find anything that was discharging the battery. So, my latest theory, which may or may not be proved correct depending whether the thing fails again, is that the battery the first guy fitted was possibly not very well charged. It had been on the van for a long time, and although it started the car, because I didn't use it for a while, it just went flat. So it's working okay now, and it just remains to be seen whether whether the problem recurs. But yeah, it's all a bit of a mystery really, but as I say, the acid test will be that, having not used the car for 3 or 4 days, whether it starts okay. Yeah, I mean, so I haven't used it yesterday. I went out Sunday, I haven't used it yesterday. It started all right this morning, so as I say, that's the most logical theory at the moment, barring anything else. There's been a right pain not having a car, paying them for diagnostics which showed up absolutely nothing other than there wasn't anything to show up. So there we go, that's the saga of the car. There's certainly plenty of fish down there. The float reacts straight away. It's just can't hook any of them. Oh, come on. That was me. I was just too slow. Right. Oh, jeez. I don't believe this. Obviously the way to get them is to go much lighter, but if I go much lighter, we know what's going to happen. If a carp comes along, it's curtains. This is what it is, isn't it? It's these small babies. Yeah, that's what's causing all the issues. You can't get it in their mouths, can they? Oh well. Well, what do we do? Perhaps put a much bigger bit of bread on, or more luncheon meat. Don't know. Right, somewhat bigger bit of bread, which will swell up to even bigger. Obviously the small fish can still nibble it off, but may entice something a bit better to take it in one go. Yeah, that worked. I think it's just a better rud, but at least it what was that? A roach? Could be a roach actually. Yeah, I think that's a decent roach. Yeah, that's a roach. That makes a bit of a change. Yeah, it's quite a nice roach. Yeah, bread seems to be attracting the roach. I think that's another roach. Nice roach. Yeah. So the bread's attracting the roach. Not much chance of carp at the moment because the bait's not actually getting to the bottom. Feels like a bit of a battler. It's having a bit of a go. I assume it's only a roach, alright. It's really having a go. Yeah. Yes, obviously the roach taking the bread on the way down. This net's really a bit too deep for silvers, but not in bad nick, really. Oh, we've hooked one at last, just waiting for it to go away properly. This one seems to be pulling quite hard. Must be a very good roach if it's a roach. Jesus. Oh. It's a good fish. It is a good fish. It's a rod, but it's a very nice rod. Yeah, that is a beautiful fish. A lovely fish. Well, there's some nice fish down there. Oof. Oh, this one is really having a go. We seem to have got quality rudd arrived. Oh, gee. He's a lovely fish. Look at that, just in the bottom lip. Just. Oh, I need to let go of that. I'm going to weigh you, just see what you weigh. I found this bag at home in a drawer where we keep all old plastic bags, and I thought it'd be an ideal thing to weigh smaller fish. So that's 0. The bag weighs, as you can imagine, next to nothing. What I've got to do is get the hook under it. Oh, come on, stop messing about. About 10 ounces, I think. I think that's what the one I weighed last time I was here was. That's fish though. Oh, he fell over the let's hang that up there so we can dry off a bit. 10 ounces, not bad. You may notice as I'm doing this that I bought myself a new rucksack. I did a tackle talk last year and I had a little bag, but I bought this rucksack because I can get a bit more in it with cameras and things, and also it's a lot easier to carry, balanced on my back, than the bags I was using before. Well, let's put a bit more of this in. And track a few things in the area. Bread based, and they seem to be eating the bread, so hopefully it'll get things moving. Oh, more hens found it. Always seem to attract more hens. Can't get down to the water these days, so I have to use devices to help me. Right, let that settle down a bit. This feels a bit better. This definitely feels a bit better. I think it's a crucian. give a good go out of themselves. It's a nice crucian. Looks very similar to the one I caught last time I was here. I'm sure that's the same fish, you know. I can tell by all the markings on its Does the hook come out? Yeah, I think the hook's come out. Yeah, it's lost an eye, hasn't it? Not in very good shape at all, really. Put him straight back, I think. I'm sure that's the fish I caught last time. I think it's another roach or rudd. Cannot believe that roach took 2 bits of lunch and meat, but there we go. It obviously did. Oh, this feels a bit better. I don't know what it is. Foul hooked. It's another crucian, but it's foul hooked. That's unfortunate. That's why it felt so. It's not the same. No, it's not. I thought it was foul hooked, but it was just the fact that it was wrapped round its that's a nice dumpy little fish. Here we go. They're lovely fish, crucians, aren't they? They really are. I don't know what this is. It's probably only a roach or something, but it's having a bit of a go. Yes, I think it's a rudd. It's actually taking it down a bit. Makes a change. Yeah, another nice rudd. I got caught in those reeds down there, and I hand lined it out. That was fine. but somehow or other, as I picked the rod up, everything got tangled around the top of the rod. Anyway, I tried to untangle it, but it knotted, and anyway, I retackled. But I thought while I was retackling, I'll set it up as a float ledger, so that'll get that bait down to the bottom a lot quicker. I don't know if that'll make any difference, but obviously the setting of the float's fairly critical. But there we go. So now that ledge is on the bottom with the bait straight down, and the float is just being anchored by the ledger basically. So not made a lot of difference, is it? Same sort of bite, same sort of miss. Oh dear. Well, we will persevere. The wind's dropped a bit and the clouds have evened up into a lighter sort of covering, so hopefully the rain's not coming. I thought the rain was going to arrive early at one point, but it was at 20 past 11. I'll probably pack up about 2. Yeah, we'll give this a try. That was a good bite. I think it's another crucian. Yeah, it's a much more positive bite on the float ledger. Yeah, not very good condition, this one. Lots of mouth damage. There's another battling roach. Or is it a rudd? No, I think it's a rudd. Oop. Oh jeez, didn't have the net out far enough. I got caught in the tree now. Carp, would you believe it? Sort myself out. Right, try again. Another nice rudd. Brightening up a bit, which is good news. the hit rate is just getting ridiculous now. I'm getting bite after bite, and I'm just not making any contact with them. There was a period where I was hooking them reasonably regularly, but not now. I don't know. Just goes completely away. I may take the ledger off and just go back to the float. Maybe the float ledger's not working that well. Floats. I thought I'd say the float was cocking, but it was actually a fish took it. I think it's just a roach or a rudd. They do battle. Oh, that was silly. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Nice run. Yeah, nice fish. A nice roachy. Oh, see, it wasn't fairly hooked again. It's really quite challenging to get these things. Well, I think I'm going to pack up soon because I'm missing most of the bites. I just can't connect, and I think they're just all smallish rudd and roach. I'm not sure anything else is going to come along today. It's just one of those days, I think, really. But it's been great sitting here, really. Once again, it's a lovely, lovely peaceful spot. It's all on your own. It's been quiet today here, very quiet really. Don't think I've ever seen so few people here in June, which is amazing really. But fish wise it's been quite challenging. I'm sure if I drop down to very light tackle and smaller hooks and smaller baits, I could catch more of these, but there's always the risk here that something big's going to come along. And I'd rather have a chance to get something like that in than just get broken up. So I might call it a day. It's not quite 2 o'clock, but there's a few specks of rain coming down again. And I think probably the longer I stay, the more chance it is I'm going to get wet. But I think if I stay a bit longer it's going to be more of the same. Lots of bites I can't hit. and the ones I do hit are only going to be much of what I've already caught. It'd be nice to have got a few more crucians. They may have been responsible for some of the tricky bites. But, it was good that I caught 3 actually, because I used to catch them quite regularly here, but more recently I haven't done. So it was actually good to catch some crucians today, although one of them was in reasonable condition, the other 2 didn't look that great. Well, something's having a go. But it's certainly starting to rain again, so no, see, float goes under, nothing. So I think I'll call it a day. Well, that's it for today. I didn't stay as long as I was going to, but it's about 1:30. I was going to stay to 2. They forecast rain at about 3 o'clock, possibly 2 o'clock, and it's about 1:30 it started raining. I'm sort of sheltering under some tall shrubs here, or small trees, whatever you like to call it, so I'm not actually in the rain at the moment. Yeah, it was quite an enjoyable few hours. Once again, it's been very, very peaceful, very quiet. Lovely little corner, good margins to fish to. I think most of the bites today came from small rudd, many of which I didn't manage to hook. Very, very frustrating, float sliding away and nothing on the end. A number of fish I felt and came off. But I did manage to get a few reasonable rudd in and a few roach and 3 crucians. I like crucians. A couple of them weren't in that good a condition though. But all in all, quite an enjoyable few hours, and it's good now the car's back on the road so I can actually get fishing. Yeah, and a couple of weeks' time we'll be out on the rivers, so I'm really looking forward to that. I like lake fishing, but I do enjoy my rivers. So thanks as usual to all of you who've watched the video, and thanks to the subscribers. Thanks also for the comments. I'm getting quite a few comments these days, which is great really. It's nice to sort of communicate with people. So that's it for now. Until next time, as usual, goodbye and cheers.